Now, I would like to give the floor to the Italian Trade Commissioner, a friend, Mr. Alessandro Liberatori, which is the currently Commissioner of the Italian Trade Agency in Delhi, and he has an extensive career and many years of knowledge in order to support the Italian companies doing business in India, as well Indian company doing business or attracting the Indian company on doing business in Italy. Thank you so much, Alessandro, to be with us today. The floor is all yours.
Thank you, Carlo. Good afternoon, good morning, namaste to all participants in Italy, in India, and elsewhere in the world. Thanks a lot to the organizer, D'Andrea and partners Legal Counsel, and in particular to Mr. Carlo D'Andrea for inviting me. I also want to greet the Ambassador of Italy to India, Vincenzo De Luca, and all the distinguished panelists, and in particular all the companies, Italians and Indian ones, attending today's webinar. In a minute, I will share my presentation to show some basic facts, some info on current trends, on bilateral economic relations and ties and investments, and some suggestions and some tips on how to better approach this market, how to increase awareness on the country. And last, I will display some information on Italian trade agency activities in 2022 for India. So let me try to share my presentation. I hope you can see it. So just some basic facts, as I was mentioning. India is actually a country, but is a continent. In fact, it has a population of 1.3 billion people. So it's about 20 times Italy, just to let you understand how big this country is. And it will be probably, currently is the second largest country in terms of population in the world, but in a couple of years, so maybe 2-3 years, it will be the first one overcoming China. In terms of surface, in terms of area, it's 3.2 million square meters. So it means 10 times Italy. It is very important for today's webinar to mention is the third largest economy by purchasing power parity. And it's a federal state with 28 states, 8 union territories, and more important, currently India has signed 18 free trade agreements with other countries and 6 preferential trade agreements that is an information very important because these agreements facilitate the bilateral trade, bilateral investments. So it facilitates the development of the cooperation between Italy and India and all other countries in the world. Already the Ambassador De Luca was mentioning this figure, so I will not be too long, but it's important to display what is the way India reacted to the pandemic, to the post-pandemic. Is basically the country that reacted best, that is reacting best. According to the latest growth projection released just last week by the International Monetary Fund, India is the fastest growing economy among the G20 countries in 2022. It's basically a growth of 8.2%, almost double than China, and significantly higher compared to all the major economies, USA, Japan, UK, and the EU, including Italy. And this kind of impressive growth projection are confirmed also for 2023. The India GDP growth is expected to be almost 7%, again, higher than any other large economies in the world. In terms of bilateral trade, the Italian export to India between 2016 and 2019, or rather before the pandemic started, grew by 22.2%. So it was a stable and continuous growth. In 2020, of course, there was a drop due to the pandemic, but in 2021, it increased by an impressive 28.3%. So if you look at the slide, you see that in 2021, the value of Italian export in India were basically the same as in 2019. So basically, we have been recovering the value before pandemic. But more important is the fact that in 2021, despite the second wave of COVID, despite all the difficulties in logistics and so on, the trade exchange, so the sum of export and import between Italy and India, was 10.5 billion euros, so the highest ever recorded reach between the two countries. And Italy was the fourth EU partner with 1.24% of share after Germany, Belgium, and France. So these are very important data to consider how important is India for Italy, how important India will be for Italy. Actually, the reason why we have to look at this market in order to increase our cooperation. The composition of Italian export is basically shown in this slide. So it's mostly machinery and equipment at almost 37%. Then chemical products, 14%, metals and metal products, 9.2%, automotive, 5.3%, then rubber and plastic, computer, electronics, appliances, textile and fashion, agro-food and furniture. In terms of Italy's contribution in India's foreign direct investments, country-wise, we can see that starting from April 2002 until December 2021, FDI investment from Italy to India accounted for 3.14 billion, and Italy ranks 70 in terms of FDI stocks in India and 5th among EU countries. So representing about 0.67% of the total FDI investments in India. As already Ambassador De Luca was mentioned, almost 700 companies in India are already operating with over 5 billion euros of turnover, employing almost 50,000 workers. What are the FDI entry routes into India? Basically, there are two categories. The first category is the so-called automatic route, up to 100%. 100%, it means that not for all sector is 100%, but it's basically the automatic route means non-resident investor or the Indian company does not require any approval from government of India for the investment. So it's an automatic approval, let's say. The second category is the government route. So prior to the investment, an approval from the government of India is required in some strategic sector. And so the proposal for foreign direct investment under this route are considered by the respective ministries, departments, agencies, their competence on the different sector. And there is a third category, which is a mixed one, including government and automatic route. So the main barrier and obstacles, apart from custom tariffs and duties that are quite high in some sectors, and we hope, as Ambassador De Luca was mentioning, that thanks to the starting negotiation of an FDI agreements between the European Union and India, all these barriers and obstacles will be cancelled soon. Anyway, there are other administrative barriers, other non-tariff barriers that are phytosanitary measures, local standards instead of the international ones, testing, labeling, certification requirements, and anti-dumping and countervailing measures. There are three most relevant standards and labeling authorities. One is the Bureau of India Standards for standardization activities, safety, marking, and quality certification of goods. Then there is the Food Safety and Standardization Authority of India, which regulates basically the standard for food and beverage, the storage, the distribution, say, in order to ensure a safe and healthy food. And the third one is the National Accreditation Board for Testing and Calibration Laboratories, for accreditation body for testing and calibration laboratories. These are the conventional distribution channels for the fast-moving consumer goods luxury products and food and beverage, which are quite common also in other countries. It's important to focus on the fact that in all the three categories, the online sector is there, and it is the relevance, the importance of a digital channel has been growing impressively during the pandemic. The e-commerce market, in fact, in India, as you can see, is huge. Almost 800 million internet users to date. They will be by 2023 850 million, and by 2025 almost 1 billion, mostly connected through mobile. And by 2025, 350 million users will buy online. So remember this data. By 2025, online buyers will be almost 36% of the total connected users in the country. Some tips, some suggestions in order to approach this market. This market is certainly a complex, already Ambassador Luca was mentioning, is varied, demanding, and above all, price sensitive. And so you need to carry out a preliminary analysis, verify all the information, and your counterparts, potential counterparts, take an organized approach. Which means there are some key factors for success to be followed, hopefully. First of all, having a proficiency in English language, implying local business practices, logistics, so make the product available on the Indian territory, providing an reliable after-sale support and assistance. The presence on social media, very important for the reasons I already mentioned in my previous slide. Storytelling of the highest value of your product, of the Italian product, and medium long-term investment forecast. And of course, it's important also to continuously monitor and supervise the market. What not to do, attempt to start a business directly from Italy. Grant exclusive rights for product in case of an agency contract. Expect results in the short term. We have been saying medium long-term investment forecast, and dumping your local partners, your local agent after the initial contract is also something to be avoided. And of course, not dedicating specific human resource to the Indian market is also something to be avoided. And of course, it's important to rely also on local experts for legal, tax, and commercial matters. Something about the Italian Trade Agency. We've been established in India in 1969, so more than 50 years. We have 2 offices in New Delhi. It's the coordinating office for India, Bangladesh, and Sri Lanka, and 1 in Mumbai. We have 2 foreign direct investment units, as Carlo D'Andrea was saying. So we support Italian investments in India, but also we try to attract Indian investments to Italy. We have recently launched an IPR and trade barriers desk in Delhi, so to assist Italian companies on trademarks, patents, copyright, design, geographic indication issues, and trade barriers issues, and we have an innovation desk. We have listed all the services that we can provide to an Italian company to approach the market, to start trading or investing in the country. So we have information, we have assistance to plan a penetration strategy. We provide brief market sectoral notes, business opportunities, information on tenders, and most important, we support them in identify potential partners, distributors, importers, organizing also for them B2B meetings and mission. Thanks also to our digital platform, Fiera Smart 365, that allow the Italian companies to maintain contact with counterparts abroad throughout the year, and not only on the occasion of an event or B2B meetings or an exhibition, but throughout the year. This is also a very important tool that we can offer to the Italian companies willing to approach this market. For 2022, the Italian Trade Agency activities in India are the summit the ambassador was mentioning in November on energy transition and green economy. This will be a very important initiative involving hundreds of Italian and Indian companies. Then we will be organizing some national pavilions, Italian pavilions, at many exhibitions in India, as you can see, in the ceramic machinery sector, agricultural machinery, food processing, confectionery and packaging, cosmetics, wire and cable machinery. And also, we are organizing delegation in presence now of Indian buyers to Italian exhibition again. So in the textile sector, cosmetics, eyewear, packaging, fresh fruit, machine tools, etc., etc. So many opportunities for Indian buyers to visit our exhibition and to organize meetings with our companies. Last, we recently launched 4 days ago, 3-4 days ago, a new guide, Objectivo India 2022, which is a new, compact, easy to read and update guide to support Italian company interested in the Indian market. It was edited in cooperation by the Embassy of Italy, by the Italian Trade Agency office in New Delhi, by the SACE and the Bilateral Chamber of Commerce. So it's a snapshot of Indian economy in order to better face the challenge ahead. So that's all from my side. Thank you very much, and feel free to contact us for any assistance. Thank you.
Thank you, Alessandro. It was really a nice snapshot of the activities that you as ITA are doing. I'm impressed. Since 1959, you are there, really structured over the years. And I'm really happy also about these additional services that ITA is providing to the companies, like you mentioned, the IPR desk, but also all the other activities to support people and companies to be successful here in India. Indeed, I was thinking that EU-India trade should be a bit improved. In fact, I'm happy about the dialogue that are happening between von der Leyen and Modi in these days in order to have a more concrete interchange. You know, that this is a really big chance, and it definitely is, as you and Ambassador said, the moment to invest in India is now. And thank you once again. I'm really happy also about the guide, because we have prepared also as a law firm a guide, but we did in English to be a bit more open to the global market, because more and more instruments are needed. Because if you share the knowledge and if you avoid company and people to have problem on doing business in a country, they will be your ambassador for business, and more investment will come. I'm looking forward to meet you anytime soon, maybe in November in Delhi, who knows, depending how it goes overall, the COVID situation here in Shanghai, from where I talk today. Thank you, Alessandro, once again, a big round of applause. And now we finish the part of institutional remark, and I will give the floor to my colleague from Milan, the head of our Milan office, our Veronica Gianola, that we will manage, will drag us during the presentation of companies, and of course from our lawyer and from our tax advisor. And after we will have also the presentation of Marposs with Luca and also with COBO. Please, Veronica, thank you so much to be here today with us.